Hey, gospel gunslingers, are you ready for your verse of the day? This is going to be a lot of fun. We're in the Proverbs today, and you know, Proverbs is kind of the snack food of the Bible. Still be some water in a thirsty land for you. But you know, a lot of guys, they learn to study the Bible in their alky dry out programs and in their prison ministry, and then 10 years later, this is all, they're still in the Proverbs and a little bit in the Psalms, and really don't even understand the prophetic import even of those. There's a lot of very powerful prophecy in the Psalms, and it's a lot of fun to get into. But you know, if you're new to studying the Bible, the Proverbs are all very concentrated, so you can just really get in and read one verse. It's just that understand that it is what it is. You need to develop the appetite for some real meat, and then get in and understand, begin to learn the construct of the Bible, the timeline of the epochs of Israel, the epochs of the creation, of the wanderings of the patriarchs and things like that. And if you don't start at some point, then you're still going to be in granny gear years down the road. But we're going to have some fun from the proverb today. You know what they're really useful for is for rebuking people that are on the outside. You can use a proverb and show them just what idiotic thing that they've done, and it's a real it's a slap in the face. It's a real confrontation, and that's part of what the Word of God is for. It's useful, Paul says to Timothy, for reproof. So the Proverbs are excellent for that. We're in the 29th today, and in the early segment, I'm going to go ahead and hit one verse ahead. 11, a fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it in till afterwards. You know, a fool can be known because they'll tell you all they know. They'll tell you all they think. They don't have any diplomacy. They're incontinent. They don't have any adult restraint for the proper time and procedure. Proper time to tell a story. 12. This is a big deal with the president. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked. You know, the president keeps on getting surrounded again and again, and even he himself hiring crooks that prove to be traitors. All right, now we are in the long play version, so we can go a little bit further. This is what the president's done really, really well. The poor, 14, the king that faithfully judges the poor, his throne shall be established forever. You know, the president really loves the poor. He really loves workers, taxi drivers, single mothers. You know, his heart goes out to those people, and he sees great value in them. Let's go ahead and read this 13th verse. The poor and the deceitful man meet together. The Lord lighteneth both their eyes. So a poor man and a crook, and even a rich man, they all have the breath of God in them. It's something that we all have in common. You know, I wish that the president would stop hiring these brainiacs, people with Harvard degrees, people out of the military academies, people out of special forces, people out of military intelligence, because unless they came up in the Reagan era, which those guys are dinosaurs now, older even than me, unless they came up in that era, they probably were subject to monarch mind control. They probably were subjects of abuse and torture to even get to that place. Even in our special force, no insult to the service of those who have gone and done this, but our training intentionally breaks them, and it intentionally scars the psyche, and it's something that we really, really shouldn't do. So I wish that the president would get more taxi drivers in his administration. I wish he would stop hiring out of a pond that's just full of piranhas and barracudas. He needs to go back to the basics of great Americans. He needs to get some farmers in. This is why I really liked our Iowa Attorney General, Matt. I really liked him when he was in for the interim, because he's a real American. He's worked for a living. Heck, he even played football just to put himself through school. But I'll tell you something else. Now that Barr has finally gotten rid of Jeffrey S. Berman. By the way, it was me that was sounding the alarm on that and broadcasted on shortwave. Nobody else was bringing attention to the fact that Jeffrey S. Berman was working against the president and his allies on the global stage. So now some really cool stuff has happened. I hope you read my tweet having to do with Ghislaine Maxwell and the Iranian fuel shipment to Venezuela. The U.S. Attorney's Office has moved against both of them now that Jeffrey S. Berman is out of the way. So that's what we got to do. Respect the little people. I'm Pastor Sam. That's your verse of the day.